Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry, I wish this angle was better. I don't like this angle that much, but this is like the best I can do, you know? That's just how it is, so that's maybe a little bit better. But, yeah, I have a little bit of time to make a quick video. I'm on my way to school right now. I'll be there really soon. But, I'm uploading a video right now. It might be uploaded already. You'll probably see it, soon. And if you don't, then be on the lookout for this video. It's pretty good. I won't lie, it's pretty good. But I am, what's the word? I'm not really reviewing. I'm more so reacting. Yeah, I'm reacting. Reacting to an anti-Mormon DVD, and it's actually insane. It's actually mind-blowingly insane, and it's a total lie. Like, all the things they say are basically lies. Like, what they're saying is a lie. But I debunked something, and I was just watching it. I recorded this video a couple days ago, and I was just watching it now, and I realized something really awesome, and I'm so excited to share this, you guys, because I feel like this is so important, and it's important that we recognize this. It's important for you guys to hear this, and you guys probably already know it, but anyway, it's just super important to realize this and recognize this and be on the lookout for this and be aware of this concept, okay? So I'm watching these guys, these anti-Mormons, basically, and they're telling the story of Mormonism. They're telling the story of Joseph Smith. They're telling the story of him translating the plates. They're telling the story of all of this, right? And this is the strategy. This is a strategy that you will see that will happen so often. This is one of the strategies that the devil uses. This is what he does. And I'm going to expose it for you so you can recognize it better in life, okay? And this is hopefully going to peel off a lot of onion layers of disbelief and lies that have been placed over your eyes. Because, like, when we go through life, we do, especially if we don't grow up in the church, we end up having, like, these beliefs that we just kind of, that are placed on us, that are given to us, that are told to us, that we kind of just believe, and because we don't know any better, and so we end up believing them, and we carry them throughout our lives, even though they're not true. And I did this, and when I joined the church, and when I was praying and learning about the Book of Mormon and learning about God and what the truth really was, these layers started peeling off. I remember it so much, just like peeling off of my brain, off of my mind, off of my understanding, because these things weren't true. But this is what the devil does. Let's just say he's an onion planter. He plants those onion peels on your brain, right? That's what he tries to do, because he doesn't want you to know the real truth. So what he does is he feeds you lies. So if you believe the lies, then you'll be too busy believing the lies to believe the truth. That's his theory. And unfortunately, this does work to a certain extent. It's just a hindrance, basically. It's basically a nuisance. It doesn't really work in the long run. It just ends up being something that just kind of gets in the way, right? Layers of disbelief. That's the point. That's what I'm talking about, layers of disbelief. But the main thing I'm talking about here, and what I really wanted to draw attention to and shine light on is, and this is the main thing I want you guys to focus on, is false framing, okay? False framing, right? And so, watching this anti-Mormon DVD, they're telling the story of Joseph Smith, and they have some embellishments, they have some little twists. The general story of what they're telling is true. Like, they're actually recounting truth, but the way they framed it and the way they've tweaked little things here and there and there and there to change it, that's what causes so much problems, because they're telling you the truth, and that's why, and the truth feels good. It's the spirit of the truth is like, yes, this is true, but they put it in this fake box. They present it in this box that say this is actually toxic. They say this is actually wrong. So they're telling, and that's the devil's trick, right? Have you guys ever heard that phrase? It's like, the greatest lie is hiding between two truths. It's like, that's how the devil deceives people. He hides the truth between lies, right? Or he hides a lie between truths. See? So I just wanted to point that out, because that's what they're doing. That's what the anti-Mormons do. They, and I mean, actually, I'd say for the most part, a lot of the ones I've seen on social media, they have not done so much false framing. I mean, they do. They do a ton of false framing. But they also do a lot of just blatant lying. Like they what's the word? They will embellish, they will exaggerate, exacerbate. I think they definitely. I'd say they definitely exacerbate, and they play on emotions. They play the victim card. They do a lot of those kinds of things, and they set everything up and they frame it falsely and dishonestly. And unfortunately, people get so tricked and confused into believing that that's actually the truth that they have no conscience about the fact that it's actually not true. But I say that, but I really do believe that even the people who are the most lost, let's say the most staunch anti-Mormons, so against the church, everything they build their entire lives against the church, blah, blah, blah. They have a lifelong vendetta against the church. They would sacrifice their firstborn child to destroy the church. Basically, that's how hell-bent these people are, and it literally is the definition of being hell-bent. Hell-bent. They are bent on hell, and actually, that is what hell is. Telling people that the truth is a lie. That's hell. That's horrible. But I just want to share these quick thoughts here. I feel it's crazy. I feel super strong telling you this. I feel really good, and it's important. It's important. I'm glad I feel this way, and I'm glad I'm sharing this with you guys. And it's important for you guys to know these things, because at first I kind of questioned or doubted or second guessed myself in doing a review of this anti-Mormon DVD. Because it's like, well, what's the point? Is this a waste of time? Maybe I don't even need to draw attention to it, blah, 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 whatever. Maybe I just need to focus on the other things I'm doing, other good things I'm doing. But today, when I was watching the video I made, I started thinking about how unfortunate it is that people who grow up in the church and they have a testimony of Jesus Christ, they have a testimony of the Bible, a testimony of the Book of Mormon, of the church, of the prophet, of Joseph Smith, of all of those things, right? The prophet Joseph Smith, of all those things, the modern prophet Russell M. Nelson. They have a testimony of all those things, and then for whatever reason, they kind of fall off, or something happens, and they get stuck focusing somewhere else, or some kind of poison slips into their system, basically, like the devil's poison, basically. In other words, a lie gets through to them somehow, and they focus on that, and it corrupts, and it poisons. And then they start seeing videos and say, and I know this has happened, and then they watch a video like this, a DVD like this anti-Mormon DVD, and they go, wow. And then they suddenly start thinking it poisons the well. That's the point. If this is poison, and it poisons the well. These types of anti-Mormon propaganda, they're purely poison. That's why you have to exercise caution watching it. It's not for the faint of heart. Nobody should just watch it, because honestly, and that's one of the reasons I bought this DVD, because I didn't want anyone else to just pick it up and be like, oh, how about the Mormons? I wonder about the Mormons, and then watch it and be like, oh wow, they're evil, or they're not even Christians, or some other stupid lie like that. But I just think of the returned missionaries, which I love so much, and I just saw a really awesome license plate that says, why worry? That's a good question. I'd say, why worry? I'd say worry because you care, right? But then again, if you're doing the stuff you're supposed to do, why should you worry? Because you're doing what you're supposed to do. And that makes a difference. So have faith that it will work out, which it does. But anyway, when I was making this video, I was just thinking about people who they have staunch testimonies and they're staunch believers, and it's such a blessing. They're children. They've made covenants with God. They're on the covenant path. They are so in the right place. It's not even funny. They are so in tune with the Spirit. It's not even funny. And somehow, some way, somewhere, they end up falling off, getting out of the boat, and then they can turn into these anti-Mormon ex-Mormons who are making positive TikTok and Instagram reels where they are so happy now. There's the ones that are just like, they're wearing like a jumpsuit because they're so excited they don't have to wear their garments anymore, because they have been tricked into believing that it's a form of slavery to wear garments, that you're being imprisoned by wearing garments. Like, such a lie. And so they're like, I'm free. And they're like, I can do whatever I want now. I might even get a tattoo, you know? And these people are, they're celebrating their freedom, right? They're celebrating their freedom. But they're totally missing the point. They're not really celebrating their freedom. No, they're not celebrating their freedom at all. What they're doing is they're celebrating a bad decision. You've always had freedom. Everyone has always had the freedom to make mistakes. But a lot of times when you grow up in the church, people, and I didn't grow up in the church. I grew up as a Christian, but you're raised a certain way, right? And you're taught right and wrong, which is such a blessing. Like, hallelujah, can we just get an amen for how much of a blessing that is? That is an amazing blessing. You are raised right and you are taught right. What? It's freaking amazing. You know the truth and you're raised right. What? That is so amazing. What a blessing. But unfortunately, people do have to find it's not unfortunate that they have to find their own ways, but people do have to find their own ways, and they have to have their own testimony. They can't rely on their families, can't rely on what people have told them. They have to get it for themselves. And when they don't have it for themselves, sometimes they go looking anywhere and everywhere but up, basically, everywhere but the right direction. And so they end up leaving the church, and they end up making celebratory videos where they're dancing around in yoga, I don't know what to call it, just a sleeveless shirt, basically, any kind of sleeveless shirt. What are they doing? They are celebrating their freedom from having to wear garments, for example, and then they're super loud and proud, which is rarely a good thing. Like, loud and proud is not very, I'd say typically loud and proud, just as a concept, is probably not the best thing, typically speaking. And so, yeah, it's not a good idea, but they're loud and proud, and then they have a huge tagline or something that says, I just realized there are no rules, something like that. Or, I am celebrating my freedom. I'm celebrating my freedom from the Mormon church, or something like that. And the sad part is like, this is now their identity. It's like, think about that. You went from being a child of God, being a child of the covenant, being a disciple of Jesus Christ, while being yourself, by being actually you, which by doing all these things, you actually become more of the person, you actually become more of who you actually are by doing those things. The brainwash is that by doing those things, you become someone you're not. That's not true. You actually become more of who you are by doing those things. So they go from being all of those wonderful things to now having an identity as an anti-Mormon, or as this, or as someone who escaped the church, or I survived the church, I left the church, and that's their identity. And the sad part is that's all they've got. And so what do they do next? They spiral into hedonism. What is hedonism? Hedonism is doing whatever you want whenever you want it, with no regard, just doing whatever you want. It's hedonism, and they call that freedom, and they celebrate that. But they don't see the forest for the trees. They don't see that we've been warned about this since day one in the Book of Mormon, and they're just jumping into it with a smile on their face as they're literally setting their life on fire and things are falling apart left and right. That's why people are spiraling out of control. This concept of departing from truth. That's why people have such struggles. That's why they think that they are a different gender and they cut their genitalia off, or they cut their breasts off or something like that, because they think they're a different sex. This is the kind of confusion that says, well, we're not going to tell our son that he is even our son. We're going to let him decide. We're going to let them decide who they are, right? And it introduces all of this. It's like, no, we already know the truth. So stop acting like we don't know the truth, and stop feeding into all of this uncertainty. Stop spreading lies, basically, long story short. But yeah, hope you enjoy this video. I hope these thoughts have been encouraging. They are encouraging. They're very encouraging. Encourages us to, not fall for tricks, lies, and deceptions, but that are actually real. It's not a joke, it's actually real. But I love you guys, and thanks for watching. Be on the watch for these anti-Mormon video reviews. They are actually kind of funny, and I enjoyed making them. I'm gonna have even more fun making a second one, but I enjoyed watching them too. So have a great day.